Hey everybody, I wanted to go live real quick today. Well, it's not going to be too quick, but um, as I was reading this home care magazine, I don't know if you guys are getting it. It's called Home Care. It's just called Home Care Magazine, a leading business magazine for home HME and home health professionals. Um, I get it every month, and I was sitting here reading it today. This is the February edition. They got a sister on there talking about home care career. They got a lot of great resources in here. And a lot of people ask me about how do you get it? How do I get it? It's a website. It's called Home Care Mag, Home Care MAG.com. One word, one all in one word. And you just register for free. It's a free magazine. I get a couple of them actually every month. I get at least two of them. They come to the house. I give one away, and I keep one and I read one. And it's not about being a caregiver. It's talking about owning a business. So, but they were in this issue talking about some of the things that a caregiver can do to make their career better. But it kind of had me thinking about like, okay, a couple articles. Let me tell you the article I was reading. He was talking about selling your business in one of the articles. That was pretty interesting. Wages and compliance. But it was something I read, and it kind of made me think about like I'm always trying to figure out better ways to help my coaching clients and my students, navigate the early stages of their business. And quality cycle management. But it was something that he referred to. One of the articles referring to that made me think about the best way to spend your time in the office in the early stages. And I'm not, I don't know who's on this gonna be on the live today, but I know I talk about it a lot. Meaningful relationship development. And I got like 5 things that I just kind of noted down as I was reading that I feel like all new agencies should spend these activities daily in their office. Because it's like sometimes you feel like you don't know what to do with yourself. Like, what's the best way to spend your time? And also the best way to spend your money and your energy as a new agency. So as I was reading the article, I jotted down some notes and I came up with like 5 top daily home care activities that I feel like a new agency or even a agency's been around a while, that if you do these 5 things on a regular basis, you'll see some success. You'll grow your business. You'll be able to keep caregivers and keep new clients coming in. So the first thing I was going to discuss is meaningful relationship development. I feel like I talk about it a lot. I think about it a lot. I'm always telling somebody about it. I'm always telling my staff how to, negotiate it and make it better and, optimize it for our office and what we're doing. But meaningful relationship development basically is it's a marketing strategy or in a sales campaign that puts you in touch with, the top 5, 6, 7 referrals market in my the 5 closest counties to you, your county and the 4 counties touching you. And I try to stay within the counties that are the wealthiest, the 5 wealthiest counties that touch your county. So the county you're in and the 4 surrounding counties is how I kind of look at the target market. And within that target market, you got a series of referral sources, assisted livings, nursing homes, so on and so forth. And is your duty and your job in the very beginning of building your referral sources and your referral network is to get these top referral sources, get all their names, all their phone numbers, all their addresses and emails, and you compile a list. And you want the phone numbers, the emails, the address, a contact person, and then you compile the list, and then you start making phone calls, sending letters, office visits, so on and so forth. I done talked a lot about meaningful relationship development, and if you never heard of it, it's a couple other videos that I posted about it, and I'm thinking about doing a specific video just on it and kind of show you guys exactly what we do here at the office when it comes to as far as the emails we send out, the literature that we mail out, the visits that we make, the phone calls that we make, and What else is it? The visits, the phone calls, the letters, and the emails are basically what it consists of. So each one of these facilities, say for instance, you get a assisted living, you're going to call them. Obviously, you're going to call them first. Try to schedule an appointment to meet with whoever's available, the director. If it's a bigger place, if it's a smaller place, the owner. You want to get there. You call them. You try to set up a meeting. You can't set up a meeting. You shoot them an email. You cancel. You shoot them an email. You follow up with an actual letter or whatever you do throughout this process of creating this relationship, this meaningful relationship. You're touching them in multiple different ways. You're sending letters, emails, so on and so forth. So that's like the first thing I suggest any new agency or any agency to, first compile the list. And you should, with the 5 top counties in your area, you should be able to get a list of at least 100, 200 people, 200 top referral sources. And I always talk about the top referral sources. I can post them at the bottom of this once I get off of here. I can, if you guys want it, just comment down below so I'll know, post top referral sources for meaningful relationship development, and I'll see that comment and then I'll post it. The number 2 thing I suggest new agencies do is top competition research. You want to Google search home care or assisted living providers or home care services. Just Google it right where you are in your community. Just put that area. Whether you're in, say like Detroit, top home care services, Detroit, and see who comes up. And the 5 top people to come up in your area, you want to start a process of research. The first thing you want to do is you want to call them and pretend like it's like secret shopping. You're going to call them and see if, you see how their services are, what services they offer, what's their rates, and see if you could get an actual consultation. You want to do a consultation with them. You want them to come to your home, a library, just meet them anywhere, so you can go through their process, and I'll explain why here shortly. What you're going to learn is how they take the calls, what's going on, how the sales process works. The whole reason for this is to learn your competition, sales process, their weaknesses, their strengths, their process, how they're hiring, what they're doing to training their caregivers, their sales cycle, like how they're going to follow up with you. You know what I mean? What kind of referrals they're going to send your way. I mean, references, because you're going to ask for references, you're going to do everything that you feel like a well-informed client would do. So when you do this to your competition, and you're like top 5, I would do like the top 5, 10 competitors in the area. If you're doing assisted living, also do it that way. It's a little different because you got to go visit the place and all that. But you want them to walk them through, you want them to walk you through their whole sales process. So in turn, you're going to just be learning everything they do. They're going to be sending you emails. You're going to say, okay, I called on this day. 3 days later, I got an email, or 4 days later, I got a call back. It's like you're just studying what they're doing. This is what they said. This is what some of their sales pitches. These are their sales pitches. You're looking at this process or this strategy of research as a learning experience, so you can understand and learn what's working in your marketplace, some of the things that they're doing good, and some of the things they're probably doing wrong that you feel like you can take advantage of when it comes to doing your business. So that's the number 2 thing I really want you guys to start doing. It's actually fun for me. I feel like, I'm, corporate espionage. And I know that's a weird word to say, but that's what it is. I mean, companies do it all the time. Samsung, they take an iPhone, they dissect it, they break it apart, they find out every little thing, and then they use it to their advantage. Apple, they get a Samsung, they do the same thing, they break it down. Everybody does it. I don't know how you may feel when it comes to morals and all that, honesty and integrity, but this is the world of business. And I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong by learning my competition, so I could better serve my clientele and better serve my marketplace. So that's the number 2 thing I would suggest you do. You create as a daily activity in your new agency. Competition research. The third thing I would suggest is a caregiver recruitment. One thing you're going to deal with early on is shortage of caregivers. It's a national crisis. There's not enough caregivers in school. There's not enough people registered to take, be CNAs or GNAs or whatever they call them in your area. Basically caregivers, home health aides. There's just not enough in the pipeline. It's this going to feed the market of senior, the number of seniors that are that need care, and it's already happening. If you've been in business for a while, if you've been in business for 3 to 6 months, it's very hard to get quality caregivers and keep quality caregivers. When you get good caregivers, you better do everything you can to keep them. I have caregivers now that I'm paying $12 an hour. I'm making very little money on them cases that they work because we paying them so much, but they're great caregivers, and I would do anything to keep them, because caregivers are the front of your business. They're the face of your business. It's what you're in the business of, caregiving, taking care of families, and the caregivers are the most important aspect of your service. So you got to have great caregivers. So caregiver recruitment is very important. The 2 top places I would suggest you start your caregiver recruitment. In the first place is it's a 2-fold strategy, and the second place is pretty straightforward. In the first place, I would suggest is go to churches. Why churches? Based on the data and the benchmark studies and the research from different agencies all across the country, there's been research done that says the best caregivers are based on like thousands of questionnaires sent to different agencies all across the country in 2018. The best caregivers are Black women in their 40s who attend church. And that's it. So like, based on the questionnaire that they sent, all different agencies all over the country, big and small, when the data came back, it was Black women in their 40s who went to church. This kind of stuck out in the survey. And obviously you can't put an ad out and say, I just want Black women in their 40s who go to church to apply for this job. You can't do that. Obviously that's discrimination. But when you can always position yourself to create a funnel for these type of women. And I would suggest, obviously, the best place to start is church. If they go to church, start in the church. Church is just like referral sources are everywhere. They're all over your community. You'll be surprised how many churches are in your county. Like, once I looked, like I didn't pay attention before, but when I looked, it was like it felt like it was 1 million churches. Like, it's a church almost on every block. And once we had created a flyer and started a campaign to market to these churches for caregivers, to get our, just put our flyer on the message board and maybe, talk to somebody in the office or somebody in the main office, the pastor, or whoever you can get in contact with, depending on how big or small a church is, just let them know that we're just looking for caregivers, to take care of the seniors in the area. Don't make it too, complicated. It's a paying job. We're looking for women, or caregivers. Usually only women are going to apply most of the time. Caregivers who would like to take care of, or who have a passion for taking care of other people and being caregivers in the senior community here in this county or here in this city or whatever you say on your flyer, and your presentation to whoever you're going to talk to about that flyer. But let me explain something. That strategy is 2-fold. By no means do I want you to go in there with your first contact with a church and talk about a referral source, turning the pastor into the referral source, or turning anybody in the church to send you actual leads. The fact that you went in that church with the opportunity, employment opportunity for their community, for their church community, has value there. You leverage that value later, and you'll be surprised that people are going to call you. I mean, I said don't depend on it, but people are going to call you and ask for home care based on the flyer. I'm not a caregiver, but such and such in my family needs care, or such and such in the church needs care. Do you have a caregiver? Boom. Now you didn't use your employment opportunity to turn it into a referral source. And obviously you're going to explain to the people at the church what you do, your passion. You're going to tell them your story, and and connect with them in that way. So that's the first caregiver recruitment strategy I would suggest you utilize, and especially if you already go to church, use your church. If you already go to church and you already got a home care service, they should already know this just be, just like reinforcement, because you should already have been doing that at this point. Uh, the second thing, the second source of recruitment is Indeed. For years, I used Craigslist until one of my coaching clients was like, "Hey, bro, um, Indeed.com." I mean, I used to hear about it and see their little ads and hear about them on the internet, but I never thought about it. But now, I mean, it's my number one source. You could post a free ad on Indeed, and anybody who's used Indeed or know about Indeed for posting jobs, you're going to get a boatload of applicants, and that's what you want. You want as many applicants as possible applying for your positions, but I mean, and so you can weed them out, because all of them ain't good. But you want as many people out. The more people you have, the more chances you're gonna get to a good couple of them. So if you get 20 applications, probably 3 of them are worth keeping or worth hiring. But you have to go through that process, and you can create criteria in Indeed that's going to tell you, and not, and they're not going to send you the ones that you don't want. So my big thing is that you got to have at least 5 years of experience. You got to have a driver's license. Obviously a CNA, med tech certified. Like, these are some of the things that I put on mine. But you could do yours different ways, however you feel. But create an Indeed account and start posting ads immediately. Even if you don't have any any clients, any place to send them. I get a lot of questions about people saying, "Oh, I don't got any clients yet. What am I doing with all these caregivers?" Blah, 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 blah. You interview them. You get the information. They fill out your paperwork. The people you like on the interviews, you keep. The people you don't, you trash them. And it's just as simple as that. When you get a position, you take it a step further. If their schedule and their criteria fits the client that you found, you give them a call. You take it a step further. You go ahead and pay for the background check, and then you put them on the case. I would suggest doing group interviews. I always say do group interviews, because you don't want to schedule a whole bunch of individual interviews with. Say if you schedule interviews with 10 girls, only 3 or 4 are gonna show up. So you didn't waste it. You didn't blocked out all these time slots in your day of people who just not gonna show up. It's just how it is. There's nothing we can do about it. They say they want to come, they say they want a job, but then they don't show. 2 or 3 of them might show. So we recommend the initial interview for every candidate is the group interview. You might not have an office to do a group interview. You might not have space anywhere. Go ahead and go to the library. Tell them in advance. We do the group interviews at the library. I'm gonna have some clipboards. You take about 5 clipboards with all your paperwork on there, and you talk to them. The library sometimes will let you use the space, or you just talk to them there in a little group at a table. Or you get a virtual office and rent out a conference room for about $30 an hour. Make it about an hour, $50. You do it once a week, and until you got a nice amount of good caregivers, good candidates in your database. Once you start getting clients, and once you want to make this practice this is a practice that's ongoing. You never want to stop hiring, no matter how slow your company gets, no matter how many clients you think you have and great caregivers you think you have. Never stop the hiring process. Never stop, because you never know when one of your caregivers is going to, just not be available anymore, and you just need as many people available in your database that you can call in times of need. Because you always, if you're in this business long enough, you're going to see that things happen. Shifts aren't able to be filled, and it's all because you gave up or you didn't stick to the consistent hiring. I suffered from it. Like, I felt like at one point in time we had like 200 caregivers in the database. I mean, we got a little more. We probably got 3 times that now. But I was thinking, like, okay, I got 200 caregivers information in my database. We've been doing interviews, group interviews. We got all these potential caregivers. So what would happen is, I get a shift. I would just using Access Care, you could do a blast email. So I was like, okay, I got to share, blah, blah, blah. This is the area. This is the pay. This is the case notes. This is who wants it. Boom. I send that out. It goes to their phone and their email. I get a response in 5 minutes, shift filled. You know what I mean? Things change. You got 2 or 3 clients. The shifts need to be filled in the next 24 hours, 30, 48 hours. You don't got enough caregivers. You sending it out. They're like, we don't want it. We don't want it. So now it's like, damn, I thought I had enough caregivers, but because I stopped hiring, I stopped doing the interview process because I felt like I had enough people in my database. We got stuck and caught out there a lot of times. So you never want to stop that caregiver recruitment process. And along with that, the group interviews, like I said, just do a Google alert. I said Google alert, a virtual office or a library. So that's the third thing. The first thing was meaningful relationship development. The second thing was competition research. And the third thing was caregiver recruitment. The fourth thing I want you guys to, build early on in your business is social media campaign and your social media presence. It's 2019. It's almost 2020. The internet is the only reality. The phone is the TV. Facebook is 24-hour news. It's like that is where everybody's attention is, and there's nothing we can do about it. If you resist it, you're gonna die, suffer. Even more than email now, social media controls the attention of the masses. So your company, your brand has to create a presence in social media. So what does that mean? Twitter, Facebook business, LinkedIn. You got a couple other ones, but these 3, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, Hootsuite. Go to hootsuite.com and you get an account where when you do a post, it goes to all 3 at the same time. So you don't have to go to Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn every time to post. You can connect your accounts to this one app or one piece of software. It works on the computer and it works on your phone to where so you can blast posts. And what are you going to be posting? You're going to go to like sites like article.com and look up senior articles about seniors. Or you go to AARP, or you just Google helpful tips for seniors, elder care, senior care. And it's going to be all these different articles and information on diet, safety. There's all the things that are relevant to senior care and elder care, local events, restaurants that local, seniors are excited about. You're just constant, and you want to be posting at least no less than five times a day. It seems like a lot. And it seems like, oh man, if I post that much, it's gonna feel like spam and blah 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 blah. So like the way Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn are set up, you can't spam their sites. There's algorithms, there's filters. So no matter how many times you post, they're not going to keep putting your post up in front of the same people. So it'll never become where you feel like, whereas an email, if you send it, they're going to get it every time. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be like they're going to, through their algorithm and what they feel like that person wants to see based on their search and all the things that they're interested in, their behavior on their site, that's how they send them the information. And I don't want to bore you guys too much with that, the details of it, but you get Google alerts and find relevant articles to post on your social media. And then you also can post, and you want to create a hashtag for your company. So, everything that you're posting, when somebody clicks on your hashtag, they'll see all the things that your guys are about. Also, in every post, you want to have a hashtag, you want to have a phone number, and you want to have a call to action. Give us a call. Hey, we got a great, we got a great promotional going on right now. Always keep something in the post every time. Your phone number, a hashtag, and then again, I forgot to say your website, obviously, the link to your website. So, social media campaign. something you should be working on a daily basis. Like I said, 5 to 6 times, 5 to 10 times a day if possible. And use a Hootsuite. And they're scheduling. They have a scheduling feature where you can set all that stuff up on Sunday night, and it'll deliver those posts for the rest of the week for you, or the rest of the month, or however long you want to set up that schedule to get your content out there. And that was the fourth thing. The fifth thing is an email newsletter. Every company should have, every home care service, everyone who's out here doing this business, even assisted living, whatever you're doing, you should have an email newsletter, and also a physical newsletter. So email/paper newsletter. Who do you send this newsletter to, this email newsletter to? We go back to the meaningful relationship development, all the people on that list, all the people who inquire about your company, all the caregivers who work for you and who have applied, they also get the newsletter. All the families all the leads who called you just inquiring about the service, they get a newsletter. So you already have, if you have caregivers in a list for your meaningful relationship development, you should already have at least 200 people to put on your list, 200 emails. And what are you sending in your email newsletter? Obviously, you send an actual newsletter once a month or twice a month, whatever you feel like is, good for your brand, and how much information you want to put out about your services. And what are you putting in this newsletter? Senior events, like one relevant article, like based on like the season or the time. Like it was like we had real bad weather the last, say, like 2 months, like 2 weeks ago. It was like it was freezing cold up here. All kind of snow. It was just real, and people were worried about the safety of their loved ones, their senior loved ones. So what are you going to send out for that month? You'll send out an article about how to prevent, your loved one from being, negatively affected by the severe weather. And you could just go on Google and just say, even you can find it. It's just everywhere. I mean, I'm not going to go through all how to do it. It's everywhere. All this information is everywhere, and that's what you could put in your newsletter. You could, you want to make sure that your newsletter is branded, so like your logo is on there. You want to make sure that there's a call to action on there. Every time you send a piece of information, whether it's an email, a post on, social media, you always want to have a call to action. Give us a call. We offer a free consultation, such and such, or free in-home consultation. So there's also, you can post about senior events in your community. That's something also you could put in your newsletter. Some of the things that's going on in the community. So the county website in my county, the counties we focus on, they all have activities going on throughout the month. So I can go right on the county website if I'm putting together a newsletter for the month, or whatever, or sending out an email to the community. I could go on there and say, okay, they're doing a bingo here, they're doing this type of ball here. They always got something going on in the county at the Department of Aging. And it's always on their website. Take that information, send it out to your list. You'll be surprised how, so what you're doing, you'll be surprised how excited people are to get that information who have senior loved ones that need something to do with them, and how you stand out from the pack. Even some of the bigger agencies, they have the resources to do this stuff, but they just don't do it, or they don't do it on a regular basis. And you begin to look like an expert in your industry when you're sending out this kind of information. You just become more validated and more, respected as an expert on home care and senior care, because you are constantly, sending out this great information. You got these great updates about things that, are going on in the community in ways that can help their family. You can put diet stuff in there, fitness stuff, just great fitness exercises for seniors, just different things, different resources, different articles that you may come across. And that's why I say use Google Alerts to get like relevant senior information. Go to like AARP's website to get great senior information. Go to homecare.com, homecaremag.com. They have a website with this on there too, so you can just get all the information on here, and share it on your newsletter. But there's millions of pieces of information that you could never exhaust, and you would never have to send the same thing twice because it's just so much information out there. And with that, your goal is to become the person that they talk to, that they heard from the most often, and the person that they like the most. And that's who referral sources usually deal with, and that's how they kind of make their decisions on who they want to do business with. And on top of that, you become an industry expert in your marketplace, and that's the goal. And then that's the top 5 things that I wanted to share with you guys today. Meaningful relationship development, top competition research, caregiver recruitment, the importance of social media, and newsletters. And when I was talking about newsletters, you can get those newsletters in email. Use a service called MailChimp. MailChimp.com is chimp like a monkey. MailChimp, one word.com, and you could get a free account and send out mass emails that way. And then you can also convert your emails into actual letters on MailChimp. So if you have the addresses, you can put them in MailChimp, and they'll mail a physical copy out as well. So that's just another added bonus, and that's something new that they're doing, which is a great value add, because we used to use, before MailChimp started that process, and we still like Click-to-Mail. Click-to-Mail is another great source for sending out brochures, postcards and stuff like that to your list as well. I'm not going to really get into that, but postcards, newsletters, and stuff like that are something you just constantly want to be sending out to everybody in your database. And then I had added a quick bonus topic that I want to discuss, because I'm reading a book on sales, and I heard it before, and it's just something that I always have to revisit, because once you become a business owner, an entrepreneur, it's kind of hard to stay on what they call the money side, the money side of the trouble line. So what's the money side of the trouble line? The trouble line is a line between money activities or pay activities and non-pay activities. What are non-pay activities? Planning, scheduling, reading, researching, brainstorming. You know what I mean? These are all good things that has to be done, but you don't get paid to do them. The only things that you get paid to do is selling your service, promoting your service. No, not promoting it, but actually talking to a prospect, talking to a lead, trying to close a sale. And when you're not doing that during pay hours, it's very bad for your business, because you only get so many hours a day to sell your services, to push your product or push your services on your referral sources and people who've inquired about, who show interest in doing business with you. So the bonus was, and what I wanted to share with you guys today is, understand the difference between the pay side and the non-pay side. 9 to 5, 9 to 6, it keeps reconnecting, so I don't want to say nothing. That's when it keeps, the trouble line, the pay side of the trouble line is 9 to 5. That's when the only thing you should be doing is making calls to potential referral sources and potential leads, potential clients. Creating more opportunities for you to get in front of more people, actually taking those steps to get in front of those people, whether it's going to meet with people face to face or making phone calls to prospects. The other side of the trouble line is the non-pay stuff. You're scheduling, you're planning, you're reading, you're researching, you're brainstorming, you're organizing, you're scheduling, all that stuff that you be doing, and you think you doing what you're supposed to be doing. You shouldn't be doing that during pay hours. And that's just what I wanted to leave you guys with. When I walk in my office, you got to be making phone calls. You have to be drumming up business. You have to be selling during 9 to 5, 9 to 6, because that's the time. I feel like when the bank is open, we should be trying to put money in the bank. So that was it. the trouble line, understanding the difference between non-pay time and pay time, um, and using your time wisely. After six, plan, schedule, research, brainstorm, network with people who you just feel like can add value. But during the business hours, try to get some business. I'm gonna jump off of here. But I'm gonna take a couple questions here. I got a couple. I got stuck reading, so let me go back and see. We got a couple comments here. Bernadette, hello. Ebony, hey, what's up? Hey, hi. Hey, how you doing? Renee Smith, post type referral sources. I post them. LaShawn Cox, should you design and print your flyer after your okay? I guess you're saying after your state survey. Um, it depends what you mean. If you're just talking about getting your state license, I wouldn't. If I'm just printing, I'm gonna do my flyers and logos. I'm not gonna wait till a license for that. I'll just, I won't actually recruit, but I could do some. I would still start my marketing and my branding. So yeah, I don't got much questions. Not many people. I guess it's Sunday evening, so everybody probably getting ready for work, getting out of church and stuff like that. So, I just wanted to just kind of that was something I just was thinking about as I was reading and just kind of preparing for the week. And I just want to make sure you guys could get that content, get that to y'all so y'all can understand a little bit better some of the things that you could be doing on a daily basis to get your business going and stay productive and stay consistent. So if we don't have any more questions, thank you, Bernadette, for joining. Share the feed if you can, and we look forward to hearing from you guys soon. If you have any questions, shoot us a direct inbox on the page, and we'll be able to help you. Hold on, somebody said, when you're done talking, I need to know what's the best thing for me to buy from you to start off. I'm taking classes for my license. Ebony said that. I would start with Ebony, do you have the virtual business coaching? I guess she's not on here no more. Ebony, do you got the Well, if you don't have a virtual business coaching, I would suggest getting that first, and then if you're still struggling, I would reach out and just go ahead and think about getting a Done For You program. Our Done For You program is awesome. It's really came a long way. We got Nakia B. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her. She's a nurse and a business owner, and also she also helps us now. So she's a super help to the program. So it's not just me anymore. I have an actual nurse, another business owner, and we're getting a license, Medicaid, and all that stuff squared away now. So yeah, Ebony, if you don't have a virtual coaching, if you already had a virtual coach and you're still struggling, I would just go ahead and spend that extra little money on the virtual on the Done For You and start working with us personally, one-on-one until we get everything squared away for you. What can you do while you are waiting for the state approval? Everything I just said is what you could be doing for the state approval while you're waiting for your state approval. Everything I just said. Oh yeah, go to the business coach and start. I don't know why they keep saying I got a poor connection. I'm on my home's Wi-Fi, so I don't know. Anyway, yeah, start with the virtual business coaching, and if go through that program, you'll get a lot of value. Most people, that's all they ever need. They take that and run with it. We got a lot of testimonies of people who that's all they got on YouTube. Like they send us videos, that's all they needed, and they got their whole situation together. So that's something you can just probably jump on. So I'm gonna jump off of here and let you guys go ahead and enjoy your evenings. It'll be a playback here for the people who signed in later. I feel like we covered some great content today. Believe it or not, the top daily activities, 5 top daily activities for a new home care service. We talked about meaningful relationship development, top competition research, caregiver recruitment, social media campaigns, and newsletters, paper, and email. Then we talked about bonus. I added a bonus, staying on the right side of the trouble line. So if any of that stuff you missed, I'm a if I don't if I as long as I click this button right, which I always be scared that I'm gonna click it wrong and then it's going to delete. Y'all should be able to see it here again, watch the replay, and then I'm gonna upload it into YouTube for you guys as well. So have a good evening. If you have any questions, comments, come back to the page, post them, send us messages, give us a call, whatever you need. We're here to help. Thanks a lot.